How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. I'm getting ready to get started on the last two raised beds. I have all the lumber stacked over here and it's already pre-cut, so we won't have to be cutting any lumber. We basically just got to put this stuff together. I have marked on each piece of wood what size they are, and I'm going to go over that with you. And the same way with the metal that's going to be used to put these together. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember last time if I cut the metal for the other one 16 inches or 18, but that's really up to you on the height. You could cut them 24. It really doesn't matter. So we'll leave that metal up to you, the height on it. But what I did was I cut all my metal in lengths, which I did 18-inch pieces this time. And I pre-drilled them all, so I wouldn't have to drill them when I get ready to put the screws in. So I'm going to show you about everything you're going to need for this project. And like I said, we're going to be doing two of them. So let me get started with the wood and the sizes. Okay, this is the pile wood that you're going to need to build your box. I used all 12-foot lumber, and I'm going to give you the sizes and how many you're going to need. I have 4 on the bottom here. They're 135 inches long. I have 2 over here, or 132 3/4. 2 of these, 132 3/4. And then you're going to need 4 34-inch ones, 34 inches long. And then you're going to need 2 36 inches long ones. Now the metal, here's where we could save a little bit of money. I'm using all scrap metal, leftover metal from the projects I've done here on the homestead. Or if I can find somebody that's building a building and they have leftover metal, I ask them for it or pay them a little bit for it, because it's still good metal. No matter how dirty it is, it's still good. So these I pre-drilled all the holes. I lay the whole stack down, clamp them together, and drill them all at one time. And it works out really well. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I think I cut these 16 inches on the other bed. You can go either way. You could do it 12 inches. It's up to you what you want your raised bed. But that's really the place where we could save the money on building these raised beds. So those are cut 18 inches long, and you're going to need approximately 10. It's probably not going to take 10. It's going to be less than 10. It's going to be maybe 9. Right around 9 or 10 pieces. You're going to have to cut one of them. So we're going to get ready to get started on putting these together. Hopefully it'll go a little bit quicker. Now I got a pretty good sized rainstorm coming today, so it might get a little noisy in here, but we'll do our best to get the best footage we can for you. Now as far as screws go, I'm using a 3-inch screw, and this is like a decking screw. This is good for outside work. We're going to be using them, and then for our metal, we're going to use them to put all the wood together, and then we're just going to use metal screws that you would get with that 10. Now, you wouldn't have to use these. You don't care if they got rubbers on them, because you're going to be putting dirt in these. We don't care if they're sealed. Actually, if they drain a little bit of water, it's probably good. So, those are the screws I'm going to be using. I have a drill with 2 drivers, one for these screws and one for these screws here. Okay, with your bed laid out on the floor or a workbench, wherever you're going to put it together, take a big old square, the biggest one you can find. If you only got a 2-foot, it'll be okay. This is not a really critical thing, because these guys are bows, their boards are bowed and everything else. So it's not really going to matter. It's just a raised bed. So you want to stick it right on the side and make sure your bed is semi-square. Doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be pros here. Okay, now that we got our boards fairly decently square, let's go ahead and get these guys screwed together. Like I said, this stuff don't have to be perfect. This don't take a rocket scientist to do this. We're just screwing some boards together. One more thing, you might need a cat to help you hold things into place. Sophie's here to help me. So with this one done, we're going to pick it up and move it out of the way, and then we're going to get ready to build another one. We got to have 2 of these built. Okay, both of our frame pieces are built, so we're going to go ahead and bring that one over and set it on top of this one. Okay, now this is extra in case you don't have nobody to help you with the next step. I cut 4 of these little boards, pre-drilled them, put screws in them, and I'm going to use this to hold that board up when I put the metal in. These are not going to stay, and you don't have to have them, but I don't have any help right now, so that's what we're going to use. So I'll get these screwed on. Alright, I had all my little braces to hold it up, so I don't need anybody to help me get it up there. I can just leave it right there. I left these down about 1/4 of an inch. I don't want the metal to stick above this board, because if it does, then that board's not going to be straight. And I did put a square on it to make sure back and forth it is okay. Now, you can move this a little bit. It doesn't, like I said, nothing here has to be perfect, but just get it in there as best you can, and you'll be fine. Just go ahead and start putting your metal on. I'm getting ready to bend a piece of metal, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. In case there's a few of you out there that don't have a brake to bend this in, just take 2 boards and clamp it where you want to bend it, and then start bending. Once you get a good crease in this metal, once you get it started, you can go right down around there like that, and you have a pretty good crease there already. Once I got my crease in there, I'll pull these guys off. Now, I can take my crease where it's already at, give it a good nice 90-degree angle by just pressing down on it, and now we have a 90-degree angle. Pretty slick. Go right in the corner of the raised bed. So you don't need a brake for that, just bend it. Use a couple clamps and a couple boards. Okay, with our holes already being pre-drilled in this thing, it's going to make it so much easier. We're not going to have to fight none of these to get the screws in. I know the last bed I made, I had a rough time with some of them, but we ended up pre-drilling a bunch of them. So this is going to be pretty simple here. Okay, that's our first piece of metal. Pretty simple. It's in there. It's below the wood just a little bit, and that's what we want. Alright, we have all of our metal on there. We're going to go ahead and lay out our top boards here. These are going to be our top ones. They are the, let me see, got length on these. These are the 132 3/4 boards. We want them to cover the edge of the metal so you don't cut yourself. And we have our other ones here, the 36-inch ones. All this is just to keep you from cutting your arms, and it sturdies them up a little bit. Then your 36-inch board, and we want 1 inch overhang all the way around on the outside. And all we have to do now is get this top board screwed in, and we are done. This raised bed is finished. So we're going to get to screwing that on. And like I said, that's the lean on. Now a buddy of mine, Daryl Stokes, he has the Woodhaven channel. He said he had to take his off because he got wasp up underneath of him. And that's a good possibility that we may too. I don't know. But we'll see. If we can get the dirt in there and keep them on there and let it sturdy up, because that dirt's going to compact, and then eventually the will almost hold itself up, and then maybe we can take them boards off. But right now we want to keep them on because we're going to have a lot of loose dirt going in there, and it's going to put some pressure on them sides. So we're going to get them screwed on. Okay, I wrote all the measurements down on this board because I do have a dyslexia, so I have to be real careful what numbers I tell you. Every once in a while you'll see me say a number and then I'll put it on the screen as something different. But I'm going to get this right because I got them written down. These two top ones on each end are 36 inches. These two top ones over there and right here are 132 3/4. The 4 that we first started with, the short ones, are 34 inches. And the 4 long ones that we used was 135 inches long. So that is all the wood that you'll need to build one of these. I used 12-foot lumber, tried to cut everything I could out of 12-foot lumber because it is just a little bit cheaper. The metal, I paid nothing. Well, maybe I did at one time, but it was scraps left over from our tractor shed build and the barn dominium build and the shop build. So we have a little bit in them, but it's not as much as if we had to buy all the metal. Now, like I said, you could make these beds 12 inches high, 16, 18, 24, 36, whatever you want. I think they would be just fine. So we have our other stack of lumber. This is ready to go to build another one of these. We need to get this one out to make room so we can get this one built. Okay, our last raised bed is built. Julie came out and gave me a hand with this one. Went a lot faster. Took us about 30 minutes. What do you think, Julie? Yeah. About 30 minutes to put one of these together with the wood already pre-cut. It's pretty fast. So we're going to get that one out there where the garden's going to go. So all of our beds are done now.
Yay!
Okay, all of our raised beds are done. We just stacked them 2 on top of each other over there. So we're going to have 3 12-footers, and then we'll have that one 8-footer over there. Then I got a couple little round ones we planted tomatoes in last year. We'll be putting them in there too. So the garden is actually going to go right off the chicken coop because we're going to double it up as another run. When the time comes, the garden's done, we'll be able to put the chickens in there and let them finish eating whatever's left in the garden, which is going to be nice. So we have a lot of transformation to do out here. We still need to put the chicken coop up. We got to put the garden in, and I'm going to try to do this all in May. Hopefully we can get it all done by the end of May so we can get things planted. we're going to do our best. We will be using, somebody had a really good idea about using some of this wood in the bottom of the beds, and we will be doing that. We'll also be getting bucket loads of leaves and different stuff to put in the bottom, probably straw, peat moss, and then maybe some manure and different things inside those beds to try to get them filled up. And that's probably one of the biggest things people have problems with, is how much it costs to fill them up. And we're going to find out here in the near future. So that's our beds. Well, I would like to tell everyone thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Until next time.